Level 1. The letter. It arrives on a Tuesday, a plain white envelope. Your name printed in black ink. You don't open it right away. You already know what it says. It's 1968. You're 19 years old. You work at a gas station in rural Ohio. You have $47 in your pocket and a girlfriend named Diane. You've never fired a real gun. You've never left the state. But the United States Army doesn't care about any of that. You've been drafted. You have 10 days to report. Your mother cries at the kitchen table. Your father shakes your hand. He served in Korea. He doesn't say much. That silence tells you everything. That night, you stare at the ceiling until 3 a.m. You try to picture Vietnam on a map. You can't. Level 2. Basic Training, Fort Benning, Georgia. The bus drops you off before dawn. A sergeant is already screaming before the doors open. You don't sleep for 36 hours. They take everything. Your clothes, your hair, your name. Now you're a number. Now you're a unit. Now you run 5 miles before breakfast. Now you low crawl through mud while live rounds crack overhead. Not blanks, live rounds. They want you to understand something. Fear is a luxury. Hesitation gets people killed. You fire an M16 for the first time on day 4. It kicks harder than you expected. Your target is a paper silhouette shaped like a man. You hit it 7 out of 10 times. Your sergeant says that's good enough. Good enough to survive. Maybe. Weeks blur together. Push-ups at midnight. Bayonet drills at dawn, classroom sessions where they show slides of jungle terrain, booby traps, ambush formations. Your instructor points to a diagram of a punji steak pit. He says, "This is what happens when you don't watch where you step." The image stays with you. By week 8, something has shifted inside you. You don't know what it is yet, but you feel it. Something hardened, something that wasn't there before. Level 3. In country. The moment you step off the plane in Saigon, the heat hits you like a wall. It's thick, wet. It smells like fuel and rot and something else you can't name. The sky is a pale, washed-out white. Other soldiers around you look dazed. Some are returning for a second tour. Their eyes are different, flat, like they're looking through things instead of at them. A sergeant meets your unit on the tarmac. He doesn't shake anyone's hand. He says, "Welcome to Vietnam. Pay attention and you might go home." That's it. That's the welcome. You're assigned to the 1st Cavalry Division. Your base camp is a forward operating base outside of Pleiku in the Central Highlands. Red dirt everywhere, sandbag walls, watchtowers. The sound of helicopters never stops. Your first night, mortar fire wakes you at 2 a.m. Not close, but close enough. You grip your rifle in the dark and wait. Nothing happens. The guy in the bunk above you, a kid from Louisiana named Prejean, just rolls over and goes back to sleep. "You get used to it," he says. You don't believe him. Level 4, 1st Patrol. It's 0500 hours. 12 men, full gear, single file. You move into the tree line before sunrise. The jungle swallows you immediately. No roads, no trails, just dense green vegetation so thick you can barely see 5 feet in any direction. Your squad leader, Sergeant Doyle, holds up his fist. Everyone stops. Complete silence. Then the insects start again. Doyle waves you forward. You move for 3 hours without contact. Your clothes are soaked through. The weight of your pack, 60 pounds, grinds into your shoulders. Then the man ahead of you stops suddenly. He crouches. You crouch. Your heart hammers. A hand signal from Doyle. He's pointing to a wire, almost invisible, stretched across the path at ankle height. A tripwire, connected to something in the brush. Doyle marks it with a strip of cloth, steps carefully around it. You do the same. Your hands are shaking. You don't fire a single shot that day, but you come back to base feeling like you've been in a war, because you have been. This is what it is. Not movies, not glory, just a wire in the dirt, and the knowledge that one wrong step ends everything. Level 5, Contact. Day 23 in country. Your unit is moving through a village complex near the Ia Drang Valley. The valley is known. It's where the first major battle between American and North Vietnamese forces happened in 1965. Blood was spilled into that soil. You feel it somehow. The quiet is wrong. No children playing, no chickens, no noise. Doyle radios command. Area appears deserted, moving to... The world explodes. AK-47 fire tears through the tree line on your left. You don't think. You drop. You return fire at muzzle flashes. Someone is screaming. You don't know who. The air smells like burning metal. You crawl behind a dike. Prigine is next to you, firing controlled bursts. His hands are steady. Yours aren't. The firefight lasts 11 minutes. It feels like 11 hours. When it stops, the jungle goes silent again. You look down at your hands. They're still shaking. Private Reyes is dead. Took a round in the chest. He was 20 years old. He was from San Antonio. He showed you a picture of his little sister 2 days ago. You help carry him back. The helicopter takes him away. That night, you write a letter to Diane. You don't tell her what happened. You don't know how. You just write, "I'm okay, still thinking about home." You send it. Then you stare at the dirt wall of your hooch until you fall asleep. Level 6, The Wait. A month passes, then 2. You've been in 14 firefights. You've stopped counting the patrols. Your boots have rotted twice from the moisture. You've had dengue fever, recovered, gone back out. Your unit has lost 4 men. Reyes, Kowalski, Tran, yes, Tran, the South Vietnamese interpreter who ate lunch with you every day, and Corporal Hamlin, who was supposed to rotate home in 3 weeks. 3 weeks! You stop thinking about rotation dates. You stop making plans. Plans are a form of hope. Hope is dangerous. Doyle calls it short-timers syndrome. The closer you get to going home, the more distracted you get. Distraction kills. So you live in the present. Today's mission, tonight's watch, tomorrow's patrol, nothing else. Your mother sends packages, cookies that arrive crushed, letters that arrive wet, a photograph of Diane at her cousin's wedding. You look at it for a long time. She looks like someone from another world, because she is. You are 2 different people now. You don't know if you can bridge the distance. You don't let yourself think about that either. Level 7, The Village. Sergeant Doyle gets rotated out. New commanding officer, Lieutenant Marsh. Young, ambitious, West Point. He's never been in country before. You can tell. He holds his map with both hands. He's always looking over his shoulder, but he gives orders like he's certain. That combination is the most dangerous thing in a war zone. Marsh receives intelligence that a village 3 kilometers north is harboring NVA soldiers. He orders your unit in at dusk. You know immediately something is wrong. The village elder comes forward, an old man, trembling. Marsh demands information through the interpreter. The old man shakes his head. Marsh gives him 30 seconds. You watch the old man's face. You've been here long enough to read people. He's terrified. Not guilty, terrified. You want to say something, you don't. Your unit searches the village for 2 hours. They find nothing. One soldier kicks over a cooking pot. Another knocks down a door. A child starts crying inside. Her mother pulls her close. You stand in the doorway. You look at them. They look at you. You lower your rifle. You leave. Outside, you hear Marsh shouting about intelligence failures. You don't hear him. You're still seeing those eyes, that child, that mother. The enemy has a face here, but so do the people who aren't the enemy. And telling the difference, that's the war that nobody back home understands. Level 8, Deeper In. Month 4. You're no longer the new guy. There are new guys now. You watch them the way Prigine once watched you. You recognize the look. Eyes too wide, moving too fast, talking too much. You take one of them aside. His name is Garcia, 18 years old, from El Paso. You tell him 3 things. Never step on a path that looks too clean. Never walk point 2 days in a row. Never stop trusting your instincts just because an officer says otherwise. Garcia nods. He writes it down. You didn't write anything down when you got here. You didn't know you needed to. The missions get harder. You push deeper into enemy territory. Search and destroy operations in the Mekong Delta. Rice paddies that go on forever. Narrow dikes, no cover. You're exposed every step. You begin to understand why veterans talked about Vietnam differently than other wars. There's no front line. The enemy is everywhere and nowhere. The village that fed you last week might shelter the soldiers who ambush you tonight. You cannot trust the terrain. You cannot trust the silence. You learn to trust only 2 things: the man in front of you and the man behind you. Everything else is noise. Level 9. The Tunnel. Operation Cedar Falls, January. Your unit is assigned to tunnel clearing. The Cu Chi tunnels. Over 250 kilometers of underground passages. The NVA lives down there, sleeps, eats, fights, disappears. They call the men who go in tunnel rats. Small guys, usually. They go in with a pistol and a flashlight. That's it. No backup, no radio signal, just darkness and the sound of their own breathing. The man who goes in first is Corporal Watts. He's 5'6", wiry, quiet. He checks his .45, takes the flashlight, and drops into the hole without a word. You wait above ground. 4 minutes pass, then 5, then 10. At 12 minutes, Watts comes back up. He's covered in dirt. His hands are shaking, though he's trying to hide it. "Clear," he says. He sits down against a tree. He doesn't speak again for 2 hours. That night, you ask him what it's like down there. He thinks about it. "You ever been in a place where you could feel the dark?" he says, "like it had weight?" You don't answer. You don't need to. Level 10. Breaking Point. Month 6. You haven't slept more than 4 hours in a row in 3 weeks. Your hands have a tremor you can't stop. You eat when food is available. You move when ordered to move. You fire when fired upon. You are operating on a frequency below thought. Pure survival mechanics. And then something happens that changes you forever. Your unit is ambushed at night. No warning. No muzzle flash, just an explosion to your left and then chaos. When the smoke clears, Garcia is down. The kid from El Paso, 18 years old. You reach him in seconds. You do everything you're supposed to do. You do everything right. It doesn't matter. He's gone before the medevac arrives. You sit in the red dirt with his blood on your hands, and you feel something inside you simply stop. Not break, stop. Like a clock running down. You stand up. You pick up your rifle. You keep moving, because that's all there is. Keep moving.